Nasty indeed. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Sports Spotlight with your host, Rizwan, right here on Radio Azad, as well as our YouTube live broadcast every Sunday between 10 and noon. We get together here to shine the spotlight on various aspects of the sports world. And yes, while it's been the spotlight has been fixated on the cricket oval for the most part. At this point, look, Santner hits another six, but again, New Zealand is sitting at in the 12th over, sitting at 112 at a loss of five, still needing 130. With, as I said, Mitchell and Santner on strike. We are going to swivel the spotlight away onto other areas of the sport world. You hear basketball, we're gonna cover both aspects of the basketball world. Before we go there, I do have to touch on, last week I was talking with Shep. We spent quite a bit of time on college baseball. We did have a big game coming up. At that point, I went to the game right here at Globe Life in Arlington, where your 2023 world champion Texas Rangers play. Yes, the new home of the Texas Rangers. It was a good game. Not a great game for a Mississippi State fan because in the end they did lose. They lost. I want to say it was 8-7 was the final. But man, we talk about, and I'm going to talk more about this next week, I think, once we have Shep back. We talk about sport being a game of inches, right? And it's true in everything, whether it's tennis, basketball, football, everything. It's these moments, it's these inches in or out, right? Good shot or a missed shot. That's how sports go. And again, for those of you, as you can see, my Texas Rangers bleeding blue. As you guys remember, of course, we won the World Championship in 23, but before that, what was the legacy? It was Nelson Cruz running back to make that catch to get the final out. And just missing the ball against the warning track. He tried to make a leaping catch, and if he makes it, game over. Texas wins 4-2. He misses that. The Cardinals come back. They win that game, and then they demolished the Rangers in Game 7 to win the World Series. And that's what I kept as I'm sitting there in Globe Life. That's what I kept remembering. So, just so you understand, this was, what's his name? Forgetting his name. I can't remember if it's Tim. One of the ESPN folks likes to say that he's been watching baseball for however many years, 30 plus years, 40 years. And still, the game of baseball surprises him because he sees something every day that he's never seen before. Well, I saw something last Sunday that I had never seen before. We're going to talk about that in a second. But first, I got to remind you about the special daily Ramadan broadcast right here on Radio Azad. Radio Azad's special daily Ramadan broadcast runs from the 1st of Ramadan until iftar on the last day. The special broadcast includes 1 hour during Sehri, 1 hour during iftar, and 1 hour Ramadan weekdays in the middle of the day. Only on the weekdays, not on the weekends. It includes all kinds of mindful, health, reflective spiritual, religious things that you want to tune in for, including Azan Fajr and Azan Maghrib. So do tune in and listen in. Of course, we had the big radiothon this past Wednesday, raised a bunch of money for our nonprofit partners, of which we have 20. So great cause, great time spent. And kudos to Aisha and Azad for just being on the air from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. straight, no breaks, no relief, right? Some of us from the Radio Azad family were calling in to add, to enhance, but I mean, kudos to Azad and Aisha. They absolutely carried that torch for 4 straight hours and carried us to the grand total that we were able to raise through the generosity of our listeners and our audience, right? I mean, they're the ones giving. So thanks need to go out to them. But just being able to raise so much money for such wonderful and worthy causes is a great thing. All right. So let's get back to what I had never seen before last Sunday. So, looked like Mississippi State was going to win. They were up 5-3, top of the ninth. The closer comes in. We get 2 outs, and I'm going off memory, so I might be. I know we gave, at the end when, spoiler alert, Mississippi State lost. But when they lost, I said, and even before they lost, I'm watching the game and I'm like, that's just too many extra runners that MSU was giving up. I think they hit 4 UCLA batsmen and they walked another 3 or 4. Can't do that. So I can't remember if this was a hit batsman or a walked batsman. But with 2 outs in the top of the ninth, up to 5-3, they walked or hit, gave a free batsman on first with their big cleanup hitter coming up, and he cleaned up for sure. Deposited one out in left field to tie the game at 5-5. Then we got him bottom of the ninth. This is the setup. Bottom of the ninth, Mississippi State gets a solid single. They were in the bottom of the lineup. I think it was the 8th batter. It was either the number 7 or the number 8 batter. I think it was the number 8 batter, because we ended up failing so spectacularly. So the setup, tied 5-5, bottom of the ninth. We get a solid single from the 8th. Might have been 7th. From bottom of the order guy. A really solid single, takes first. The next batter, after a good at-bat, I think on the 4th or the 5th delivery, smokes one, just absolutely smokes one that's right in the gap between right and center. And I've got a video of it because I thought that was the game-winning hit. I was glad I happened to be recording it. I mean, I was like, is he going to get a single? He might be the game-winning hit. So I started recording it, and he smokes it into the gap, into the gap between right and center. And I followed the trajectory of the ball with my phone. I'm recording it, and I see it bounce in the gap, and I swivel back to the runners. You see in the frame the guy who had made the hit, who had smoked it. He's pulling into second and he's slowing down. And I was like, oh, that's because and happens in milliseconds, right? Panning the camera across. You catch the hitter pull into second base, and then I get to home plate, and the guy who was on first is crossing home plate, and I'm all ecstatic. The stadium's going wild. And then the umpire tells the guy who had just crossed the plate with the winning run to go back to third because the ball, after bouncing in the gap, it cleared the fence and went out for a ground rule double. It cleared the wall by mere inches, right? If it hits the top of the wall, it's in play, game over, the runner scores. But it went over the wall, and the rule is, as dumb as it might be, the rule is the hitter is awarded 2 bases. And the same number of bases are awarded to every base runner who's on. Well, our base runner who easily cleared home plate, even if the ball had been picked up, even if it had hit the wall, even if it had been picked up on a bounce, he scores. Right? Because the fielders would not field it facing it. They're both, it's in the gap. They're both running into it. So even if they'd fielded it, I think the runner from first, 95% chance he scores. But he was on first, and the ground rule double awards him 2 bases. So instead of winning the game over, we could go eat. Mississippi State, second and third, 0 outs. Second and third, the game's still tied. And I'm thinking, I've been watching baseball long enough at all levels. I've watched high school ball, I've watched college ball, I've watched pro, right? I thought this was a formality. I thought it's going to get done. Second and third, no outs. Second and third, no outs. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking it was the 7th and the 8th hitters, because the 9th hitter, we tried to bunt home that run. And after failing spectacularly, luckily, he didn't strike out on a bunt attempt. He did pull back after, once he got to 2 strikes, but then popped one up. So now we've got second and third, 1 out. Still a chance, right? Second and third, 1 out. Not as confident as I was with no outs, but still, like, all we need is a deep fly ball. Deep fly ball. Even maybe not even deep, just a fly ball, right? Just get it out there. As long as it's not a pop-up, as long as it's not a shallow fly ball, it's going to get the job done. They, with 1 out, they walked him instead of letting him hit a fly ball to set up the double play. Anyway, all in all, we failed to score that runner from third with 0 outs. Couldn't get him through. Did not get him through. And that was that. In the top of the 10th, they scored 3 runs to go up 8-5. In the bottom of the 10th, we scored 2 runs to pull within 1, but then lost. I have seen teams win a baseball game on a ground rules double. I have never seen a team lose because they hit a ground rules double. But now I've seen that too. It was quite a game. All right, folks. Back to the cricket match going on. It's done and dusted. I mean, it was done and dusted a while ago, right? So at the end of the 14th over, with Santner and Neesham batting now, New Zealand having lost 6 wickets after Mitchell fell in the 13th over to Akshar Patel. Akshar now 3 wickets. And yeah, once Mitchell fell, it was going to be done. Neesham came in, hit a 4, but now at the end of 14, Neesham at 6 off of 3 and Santner 34 off of 22. Needing 122 from 35 deliveries. A required run rate of 20.33 with a current run rate of just under 10, 9.57. And it's going to be here we go. Arshdeep gets a dot ball to Santner to start off the 15th over. So, yes, that match just about done. They're going to continue to go through the motions. We will update you for one last time in 10 minutes. All right. But for now, since you here, I think next week we're going to talk about March Madness. We'll get into that. But let's spend the last 10 minutes shining the spotlight on the basketball court of professional basketball. We'll talk about the Mavs in a sec. Look, great thing happening, by the way. Speaking of the Mavs, got to tell you that you should come celebrate South Asian Night with the Dallas Mavericks on March 30th. That's not too far away, 22 days. So come celebrate South Asian Night with the Dallas Mavs. Watch the Mavs take on the Timberwolves. Yeah, the Ant-Man is going to be in town. So watch him take on the Timberwolves at 7:30 p.m. and score an exclusive South Asian Night ticket pack, which features your game ticket and a limited edition Mavs cricket jersey. Yes, a Mavs cricket jersey. Ticket packs are available now at mavs.com/SAN, but don't wait because jerseys are only available with the ticket pack purchase and only while supplies last. Once they're gone, they're gone. You want to own a Mavs cricket jersey, now's the time where you can get the jersey, get your ticket, go enjoy a great game between your Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, what is happening? So 2 things I want to talk about. First, let's go ahead and talk about Dallas. Dallas is going to be playing in Toronto today. And Dallas at this point, man, it's not pretty. Dallas is now sitting at 21-42. Yeah, 21 wins, 42 losses. Have lost 6 straight. They are 2-8 in their last 10. And just falling. You know, for a little while there, it looked like they might be making noise trying to get into the play-in. But now it's they're sitting a full 9 games. I think maybe 8.5. 8.5 games out of that play-in game. Portland occupying the 10th slot, that last play-in spot. And honestly, New Orleans has been playing better ball of late, and they're only 2 games back of Dallas for 12th now. Utah hasn't been winning but they're playing good ball, and Keontae George has just come back from being injured. And then he got banged up the other day. So I don't know if he's going to miss more time or if he's back. But if he's back with the rise of Collier at point guard along with him, I think Utah's playing good ball, and there are 2.5 games back of Dallas. And then, of course, bringing up the absolute rear, Sacramento, vying for that high lottery position, bringing up the rear at 14 and 50. 14 and 50 for Sacramento, 15 and 48 for Indiana over on the east side. The front runners. The East, it's a lot tighter. Indiana at 15 and 48. Brooklyn just one game ahead of them at 16 and 47. And Washington just a half game ahead of them at 16 and 46. So it's a jumble at the bottom in the East between the Wizards, the Nets, and the Pacers. We'll see how all of that shakes out. We'll see if all that tanking gets them the number one pick or not to all these teams. But man, oh man. Cooper Flag looks like the real deal, but the Mavs of late have just been, just atrocious from a wins and losses standpoint. Washington, by the way, has lost 7 straight. Indiana has lost 8 straight. And then again, your Dallas Mavs having lost 6 straight. But I have great hope for the future of the Dallas Mavericks with Cooper Flag at the helm. Man, I have not seen a 19-year-old this polished. His basketball IQ is good. He fills the stat sheet, does it at both ends of the court, offense and defense. He gets blocked shots. He gets steals. He gets breakaway dunks. He gets blow-bys. Like anything and everything you would want from the future of your franchise, you're getting. Now, that's all the Mavs have. While down the interstate over in San Antonio, oh my goodness. I think we've been so busy talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder and how much talent they've accumulated. I think San Antonio is better poised. I know they don't have a championship. Thunder are the defending champs. But man, I think the Spurs are situated for the long term, are situated better, even better. This is not to say that the Thunder are bad. I mean, heck, with all the first round picks on their roster, with all the extra picks over the next 4 or 5 years, they're poised pretty well. But man, the San Antonio Spurs are just the players that they have with Wemby, with Castle, with Harper, the rookie. Just up and down. I mean, I've seen over the past month, I've seen 4 different players blow up for a 30-point game. And what really, really set things apart, I've been on the San Antonio bandwagon all season, really going back into last season. I mean, yes, not much of a leap, easy to make when you've got a unicorn like Wembanyama, right? But the overall playoff, roster talent that they have, it's scary. It's scary good. So what really highlighted it, underscored it. I forget who their opponent was. Was it Detroit? It was Detroit. The leaders in the East, right? Detroit. Detroit is sitting in the East in first place, comfortably in first place at 45-17 right now. They have lost 3 straight, which isn't great, but which has coincided with struggles from Cade Cunningham. But hey, 45-17, comfortably in first, and they got destroyed. Just absolutely destroyed by San Antonio. And I'm gonna get to that because I think if you haven't been paying attention, yeah, they lost 121 to 106. And Wembanyama had 38 points and 16 rebounds in that win. But the game I'm talking about, that was not Detroit then. So what? We're almost there. Here we go. It was Philadelphia, not Detroit. It was Philadelphia on the 3rd of March, 5 days ago, where San Antonio beat Philadelphia by 40, 131-91 in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, born and raised. The Spurs went in and beat them by 40. They had 78 on the board at the half. They had 78 on the board at the half, and then they outscored the Sixers 35-11 in the third. Yeah, think about that. They had 78 at the half, 113 at the end of third. 113 at the end of the third quarter. On the road against a look, I'm not going to pretend that the 76ers are a top team. Right? They're not necessarily a top team, but they're not a bad team. They're sitting at 8th, firmly in the playoff picture, in the play-in, and only a half game out of 5th in the East. And they absolutely just got destroyed by the Spurs. So the point is, the Spurs have been doing that to a lot of teams, and I've already run through the number of high talent, young high talent that they have on that roster. But if one were to come in and look at it and say, oh, San Antonio went into Philadelphia and beat them by 40, you'd think, like the other one, the Detroit game, that, oh, okay, Wembanyama must have had a 30-plus game. Nah. Wembanyama had 10 points in this game. He only played 24 minutes in this game. He only took 5 shots in this game. He scored 10, and San Antonio won on the road against a quality ball club by 40. Because Vassell, 7 of 10 from the field, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Castle, 6 of 10 from the field, 15 points, 10 assists. De'Aaron Fox, 4 of 8, 11, 5, and 7. Harper off the bench, 8 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, 22 points. Yeah, San Antonio's good. They've got a lot of talent. I think the West is going to be ruled by these two clubs who went through some down times, but built for the future. And now the future is here. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs are set to rule the West for a little bit. And the Mavs can only hope that in the absolute stud, no doubt, first overall pick in Cooper Flag that they have, that they can build around him. They can do what these two clubs did. They can follow the blueprint. They don't have the draft capital, but they hope that they can put together, maybe get a good pick this year, maybe trade away some more of the assets that they have, but they need to follow this footprint, this blueprint, and put the talent around Cooper Flag so that they can challenge the Thunder and the Spurs by 28, 29. Otherwise, the West is going to be ruled by these two teams, and it ain't going to be Luka and the Lakers, right? I mean, are they always going to be? Luka's awesome, and they're always going to challenge, but I think the West is going to be ruled by the Thunder and the Spurs for the foreseeable future, until the Mavs can put together a strong team around Cooper Flag and challenge them. All right, we are way over time, so that's it. Wanted to talk about that. You've been listening to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad with your host Rizwan. Now we'll be back next Sunday, same bat channel, same bat time, right here on Radio Azad, as well as our YouTube channel.